Proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, Chief Meteorologist Tom Clark with his backyard forecast, and Joe Zone on sports. This is the Newswatch 16 update.
Good evening. A new warning for beer drinkers tonight.
Some doctors say drinking your favorite brew can be hazardous to your health. A new study that will be published in tomorrow's edition of the New England Journal of Medicine says men who drink more than 1.5 cans of beer a day are 3 times more likely than non-drinkers to get cancer of the rectum. The researchers also say those who drink wine and whiskey are more likely to get lung cancer. The study is based on 20 years of health records on a group of men. And even though the researchers say their figures show a link between alcohol and cancer, the doctors were not able to explain why. NYPE reporter Bob Costantini went out tonight to see what beer drinkers in Lackawanna County have to say about this latest study.
The study, released by the National Cancer Institute, says that men who drink an average of 18 ounces of beer per day have 3 times more chance of getting rectal cancer than men who don't. We're here at an Oliphant Bar, a typical beer joint, to get some reaction. Drinking beer is a popular pastime in northeast Pennsylvania, and all the beer drinkers in this bar are skeptical of the report.
Everything you drink or eat is cancer-causing substance. To me, I look at it, you're born with cancer, it's either inactive or it's active.
You're going to die from something, ultimately, and if 1.5 cans of beer a day is going to be what's going to cause me, fine. Something is going to do it.
Regular beer drinkers here say even if a definite link between beer and rectal cancer is established, they won't change their love for brew, especially when a daily intake of 1.5 cans is cited in the report as the level where the risk is increased. Drink that much beer a day, would you say?
Certain days a lot more. Certain days a lot less.
Okay.
How do you know?
Is that going to change your habits at all?
Not really. Not at all. Not at all.
You're going to keep drinking?
Sure. I got to go sometime. Might as well go with a smile on my face.
Along with his customers, the bar's owner is very skeptical of the report.
Well, I don't believe that it's possible that somebody could get rectal cancer from drinking beer. But if they were, you'd have an awful lot of people going to the hospitals.
Bob Costantini, Newswatch 16, Oliphant.
People who try to quit smoking to improve their health often complain about gaining weight. Well, now there may be some help. Doctors say that they've figured out a way to predict who will and who won't put on weight. They do it by measuring levels of a certain enzyme in the body, an enzyme that controls fat storage. The researchers say once they learn who is prone to put on the pounds, doctors can advise those people on what they should and should not eat to prevent gaining weight.
There's a grain product that you shouldn't eat because it contains too much of the cancer causer EDB. Natural Sales Company is recalling its Golden Harvest Pure Bran with these code numbers, L16K or L30K. Both products have an expiration date of January 1985. Golden Harvest Pure Bran is sold through General Nutrition Centers and through the mail. And later on, we'll head out on the Pennsylvania Road to meet a woman who makes beauty from something we usually throw away.
Catch the hottest hits in the country on WNEP TV 16. It's America's Top 10. You'll hear the biggest hits performed by the hottest acts on the pop, soul, and country album charts. You'll see the latest music video, and host Casey Kasem will count down the top hits of the week on the Billboard charts. You'll also get the inside scoop from exclusive interviews with the biggest musical groups and solo acts. All this and much more on America's Top 10. Saturday on WNEP TV 16.
In Washington tonight, the school prayer issue is still before Congress, with those in favor of a prayer amendment in a defensive position. Senate Leader Howard Baker realized he doesn't have the needed votes to pass the constitutional amendment. They're working on changes now to win more votes. But outside of Congress, these students were definitely for the school prayer proposal.
Why can't they pray? Why can't they pray? Why can't they pray?
Their students from Liberty Baptist College bussed in today by the moral majority movement to lobby for the amendment. Christians throughout the world are together tonight on the observance of the Lenten season. This first day is observed as Ash Wednesday, and in Roman Catholic churches such as St. Peter's here in Scranton, worshipers have ashes placed on their foreheads as a symbolic reminder that man came from ashes and will return to them in death. Lent is a period of repentance and fasting in remembrance of the suffering and death of Jesus Christ. The 40-day observance ends with Easter Sunday, when Christians believe Jesus rose from the dead.
From now until Easter, many people will be pushing aside the meat as they fast for the Lenten season. Newswatch 16's Jacqueline Carr says it means big business for fish markets, but the cost of the catch could hook our wallets.
Valley Seafood on Washington Street in Wilkes-Barre will get about 25% more customers for the next few weeks because of the Lent season. Bob Metzger runs the shop and gets his seafood from Boston. He says he'll be paying a lot more for it because of supply and demand.
During Lent season, they always raise the price quite a bit. This year it's been a lot higher because of the bad weather we had preceding this week. And it'll start coming down again as Lent goes on. I raise it a little bit, and I take some of the loss myself because it's just not right. I know it's man-made, some of it. You know, they just want to get the higher price for the Lent season.
Metzger says he may have to pay up to 50% more than usual for fish, and while his customers won't pay a lot more than usual, the price will still be higher. Even though the price of fish is slightly higher, the people buying it don't seem to mind.
You have to fast on Lent, so if you pay a high price for fish, it's worth it.
Well, the prices are higher, but it doesn't bother me. Fish is very good for you, so I buy it no matter what the price.
Metzger says he'll make up for his losses during this season when Easter rolls around and more people buy fish. Jacqueline Carr, Newswatch 16 in Wilkes-Barre.
Next, our chief meteorologist, Tom Clark.
And it was a sunny day today, absolutely gorgeous, but still a little bit chilly, Tom.
A little cold for me, thanks, Karen. A very cold night coming up tonight, but another snowstorm is coming, and when we come back, I'll tell Nolan and everybody how much we're going to get from this one.
Our couple is representing the cities of Wilkes-Barre and Scranton, Pennsylvania.
America's hottest television dance show is coming back to Northeast Pennsylvania. WNEP TV and KRZ-FM will host 4 audition sessions at the new Hilton in downtown Scranton. From disco to new wave, jazz to polka, whatever kind of dance you can do, come down and audition. You might dance your way to California and appear on Dance Fever. Since there are only 4 sessions, reserve your time now. Call KRZ-FM or WNEP TV.
Tom Clark mentioned snow. Let's find out how much.
Okay, we'll get to that, Karen. Outside now, still some blue sky overhead, still in twilight, and not a cloud up there, just a crescent moon overhead, and the temperature looks like this down below on the ground in this backyard. It is a little bit too cold tonight. 26 degrees now. The humidity is low, the air quite dry, the wind north at 12 miles per hour, and the barometer is rising 30.04 inches. The high today here was 30. About 9 degrees colder than yesterday. The low this morning, 25. The record high, 65 degrees, that was set back in 1974. That's a shot there of Scranton from East Mountain. A few clouds in the sky there this afternoon. How about the satellite view? Some jet stream clouds down over Florida, but a lot of cold air up this way. The coldest temperature in the nation today happened up at Hibbing, Minnesota. 24 below zero at dawn this morning. But here's the storm system that's coming in towards Pennsylvania. Near blizzard conditions out across South Dakota this afternoon, with winds up to 60 miles per hour, whipping up some drifts from about 6 inches of snow. Snowing now as far east as Indiana, and that snow pattern moving east at about 25 miles per hour. Let's go to the computer and I can show you the storm track. Here it is coming in from the Ohio Valley, and by tomorrow night about 7 o'clock I expect the center of the storm to be over the Virginia Panhandle, moving due east. And a lot of snow spreading out ahead of that storm by tomorrow night across all of Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Indiana, and a fresh reinforcing surge of cold air coming in behind that storm system as it races out to sea Friday morning. But snow is on the way, folks. Now here we go for tonight. Clear skies out there, a beautiful winter night. Plenty cold, though. 11 in Mayfield, 9 the low tonight in Mount Pocono. My forecast low in Nuremberg, 13, 7 Sullivan County up there, LaPorte. About 10 in Rosecrans out there in Clinton County, and 14 the low tonight in Pottsville. Now for tomorrow, the clouds will thicken in the morning. The snow should begin between 12 noon and 3 p.m. A very light snow at the start, but nonetheless coming in the early afternoon. Temperatures pretty much in the middle 20s for highs tomorrow. Your health watch looks like this. Well, that low barometer coming in tomorrow ahead of that storm. Resistance to aches and pains, low. How about the sunrise and sunset? Won't see any sun tomorrow, but there you go for the records. Cold night tonight, that snow beginning tomorrow afternoon. Now, roads may become slippery for rush hour tomorrow night, but roads will be snow-covered and slippery tomorrow night into Friday morning. And snowfall amounts across northeastern and central Pennsylvania from this storm, anywhere from 1 to 4 inches, as I see it now. No changeover to sleet or rain. It'll be a nice dry snow. Some flurries Friday afternoon, cloudy and plenty cold over the weekend. I'll have more to say tonight at 11.
Yeah, we'll be waiting.
It's coming.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
And Tim Karlson is next for Joe's Zone. Tonight, Joe has his first satellite report on Yankees spring training.
Plus, we'll hit the lanes for tonight's bowling tip.
Are you just hanging around, wandering with nothing to do? If you can't bear another Saturday night alone, we found something for you. Take a dash of Stansoa and a splash of Joe's Zone. Add some shake, rattle, and roll. Blend the Lone Ranger and Orville Wright. Mix in some Bambi and some Snow White. And you get a great family night. Pennsylvania Outdoor Life, Saturdays at 7.
Well, I noticed a lot of clouds in Tom's forecast along Florida. How about it, Tim?
I don't know. I'll tell you, it may be cold outside here, Nolan and Karen, but I'll tell you, we're going to talk baseball. We're going to see baseball. Joe's Zone at spring training with the Yanks in Fort Lauderdale, and here's the first of his exclusive satellite reports.
This is Fort Lauderdale Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's the winter home of the New York Yankees. 2 weeks ago, they reported here the early people, the volunteers, catchers and pitchers. And then a week ago today, everyone was supposed to be here. Greg Nettles and Dave Winfield, 2 of the regulars who waited until the very last day. Exhibition baseball season has started today. The Yankees and the Atlanta Braves. In spring training, pitchers and minor league prospects see most of the action, and today was no exception. There was no score in the 5th when the Braves got a one-out double from catcher Matt Sinatro. But Andre Robertson, who's coming back from a broken neck suffered in an auto accident late last season, made a spectacular play behind third to end the rally. In the Yankees' 6th, right fielder Don Mattingly tried to get things going for the Yankees, but right fielder Leo Vargas gunned Mattingly down at second, and there's still no score after 7 innings. More good defense in the 8th. Watch Bob Meacham for the Yanks deep in the hole at short to just nip Dale Murphy at first base. Yankee 8th, 2 guys on, and Don Baylor drops a bloop single into left field. That drives in the only run of the game. The Yankees' 4th pitcher, Craig Christensen, gets the win, combined with 3 other pitchers for the shutout. So it's pitching and defense. The story here today as the Yankees beat the Braves for their 3rd spring training win. Joe Zone, Newswatch 16 Sports, with the New York Yankees in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Were they cheering for Joe? That's the question. All right. Joe will be back via satellite with those exclusive reports again later on, so stay with us here at Newswatch 16 Sports. Well, I hope your bowling has been improved by watching our bowling tip series with pro Joe Hutchinson. Today, in the last of the tips, you're going to find out about the right equipment to use.
Talk about some of the equipment needed to play the game of bowling. As you can see here in front of me, I have 5 bowling balls. All these bowling balls will do different things on the same lane. The object is for you to know what they're going to do and when to be able to use them. For these bowling balls to work properly, it is very important that you have them drilled properly, drilled to fit you and you alone. Therefore, I suggest that you go to a pro shop, a man who drills bowling balls for a living. These are custom-made bowling shoes. These cost about $60, and for the better bowlers, they're a very good investment. For the beginning bowler, the junior bowler, house shoes aren't bad to start. And then if you decide you're going to stay in the game, go out and invest in a good pair of shoes. You get what you pay for. Towel. Simple thing. A lot of times when you go to throw the ball, you notice it comes back, it has a ring on it of oil, of conditioner on the lane. I would suggest get the towel, just wipe it off. Because if that oil gets on your hand, it gets in the holes, the ball may slip off and it may cost you pins. It's a very, very simple thing. It takes at least a second, so we won't worry about time. Rosin. This is the thing that I use. This keeps my hand dry, keeps my feel in the holes consistent. Hopefully, what I told you today will give you a little bit of a hand in what to do with the game, what to look for, what to buy, what to carry, and you'll improve your score.
We certainly want to thank Joe for taking the time, and with all the tips, we hope everybody's game improves and that he does well on the Pro Tour. And I'll remind you, tonight at 11, lots of high school hoops.
Okay,
See you later.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you. Newswatch 16 rolls down the Pennsylvania Road, next with Mike Stevens.
Mike takes us to Lycoming County to an artist who makes something out of nothing.
Ted Neely is Jesus Christ Superstar tomorrow.
The lower of the Pennsylvania Road takes our Mike Stevens to Lycoming County tonight. While there, he found a story that's based entirely on corn and shuckin'. We'll say no more.
A field of old corn husks in late winter. How dry it looks. How colorless. But yet there is color here. All you have to do is know where to look for it. We found some dried out corn shucks given new life and lots of color in Rose Valley. These are Linda Horn's corn husk dolls. Just the thing to make you think of summer days when all is green and bright. Back in 1976, the bicentennial year, we were all getting crafty. We wanted to revive those old ways of making things. Linda was no different.
Well, I was really fascinated with it, and I've always liked dolls, and I really didn't know I was blessed with such a talent, and I just kept getting better at it because I wanted to make a doll that didn't look like a regular, corn husk doll.
Linda has become so good at making these dolls that she is the only Cornhusker juried by the Pennsylvania Guild of Craftsmen. Still, each is a surprise.
I'm always thinking of new styles and new designs to make and new colors. And I mix a lot of my colors to get different colors. So it's really very interesting. Because a lot of times they don't turn out like I think they ought to.
What Linda ends up with is as far from the original dolls, like this one, as you can get. After they have been tied, steamed, shaped, and formed, each doll takes on a shape of its own, a character of its own.
I hate to let go of them sometimes. Some of them, they turn out so nice, and they almost look like, a real person. I hate to part with them, but I do.
Yes, sir. I told you there was color in an old cornfield. Linda Horn is one of those people who knows where to find it. I'm Mike Stevens, Newswatch 16, on the Pennsylvania Road in Rose Valley, Lycoming County.
And that's our report for now.
Enjoy your evening.